is Vlogust day 7, and I'm going to work a little bit early today. Have some doctor's appointments that I normally try to schedule all that stuff on Mondays, but this doctor just isn't available. He doesn't take appointments on Mondays. So anyway, so I have to go in to take care of an appointment today, and then probably get off an hour early tonight, which 9 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock, so I don't think I'll be able to get much accomplished. But I plan on going to Walmart and just peruse in the camping section just to see if anything catches my eye. I've went over my gear list like 4 times in the last 2 days. I can't think of anything else that I've needed. Everything that I had that was camping or bushcraft that wasn't going to be compatible for a hiking trip, I've already replaced, I think. So I've got a 40-degree mummy bag, and I've replaced my big heavy blue tarp with a lightweight tarp. I've got my camping pad, which works for put in the hammock. I've used that before in the hammock. So I don't know. I think I've got everything. I just need to keep tweaking that gear list. But that's where my mind's been focusing on here lately. Work and hiking. I'm becoming a little obsessed. It's okay. Alrighty, I'm going to get ready to head out, and I will get back with you guys on a rolling ramble. I know I said the next time I got back with you guys it was going to be on a rolling ramble, but my sister stopped by, and she was over in Zanesville, and she picked me up a gift, and I wanted to share it. She got me an adventures journal. So she knows I'm going up on my hiking trip here at the end of the month, and she wanted me to be able to document that stuff. So it says upcoming trip, and then it's got your itinerary, where you're going, who you're going with, the dates, how you're getting there, the accommodations that you're going to be using, things that you have to remember to take with you, a few words about before you leave, and then some words when you get back. Attractions and things to do while you're on your trip. Important contact information. So like I'd put my husband's name down, my sister's name down, my dad's name down, and then people that I might meet on the trip. And then very important things to take along. So my gear list or pack list. Foods to take or try. Most memorable meal while on the trip. Any field notes. Amazing memories. Trip scrapbook, so any tickets or pieces of paper can be taped into here. And then scenery sketch, so for me to sit out at some point and sketch. And then it starts over again, my trip too, when it's, so it has about 10, where you can put 10 trips in this book. So I love her. That was so sweet, and I just wanted to share it. Alrighty, guys. I'm actually leaving for work now. Seriously, this time. I'm going. See you in a minute. Welcome to a rolling ramble. Oh my goodness. It is such a beautiful day today. I do not want to go to work. I mean, I'll be happy once I'm there, but the actual physical going to work when it's this pretty, like perfect temperature, 85 degrees, yeah, I don't want to go to work. But at least I'll be out and about in the community instead of stuffed in the house. So that's all right. I thought I would go ahead and talk about my random fact, because I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to get back on here much more today. So I'm afraid if I don't talk about it now, I'll have to squeeze it in later. So I was talking to somebody about my hoarding issues, and then just all the tendencies that I have. Well, one of the things that I have an issue giving up, and you guys have seen it before, is the red minivan that's out in my driveway. It's a Pontiac Montana. Now, I got that minivan the day my mom passed away. The last week of her life, she was in hospice. And And I had at the time a Ford Aerostar in this Crayola blue color, and I absolutely loved that van. It fit my sister's wheelchair in there perfectly. It had 3 rows of seats. I could take out that last seat or roll it down, and all of our camping gear fit in there. It was just like the perfect van / utility vehicle that I needed for mine and Brenda's lifestyle. It fit us wonderfully. And then my nephew at the time and all of his friends spent almost every weekend with me, and we would load that van down with teenagers, fill it to the max, and it just kept going. We had put well over 300,000 miles on that van. So when it went, it had a good reason to go. I had used and abused it for years. So I go out the day my mom passed away. We're leaving the hospice center. That van was done, would not start. So we got a ride, and my dad's cousin worked at the car dealership in the town that we were in. So we got a ride over there to just borrow a vehicle to get us home. And he's like, I've got the perfect car. I know Sandy will love it. So he went on the back lot and he got that Pontiac Montana Sport. And it had the 3 rows of seats. It sat 7 comfortably. The seats rolled down or took out, whatever you wanted to do to pack gear in. It had a luggage utility rack on the top, and a hitch on the back to pull a small trailer. So he's like, you guys can borrow it for the weekend and then let me know what you think on Monday. So I told him, I said, well, Mom had insisted that once she passed away that we were to go on this little trip until we got her ashes back. So my mom had it all planned. So we were actually supposed to be leaving town. And he's like, take it out of town, go for it. So we took it for the weekend trip. So between us getting it on Friday and bringing it back to the dealership on Monday, I had put over 1,300 miles on that minivan and absolutely loved it. So when I took it back, I said, he had the paperwork. He knew I'd like it. He had the paperwork all filled out. And I bought that van, signed the paperwork. I feel like I got it the day my mom passed. Well, I have put, again, well over 300,000 miles on that van and had the engine in it rebuilt twice because I did not want to give it up. And the last time it blew, my mechanic was like, Sandy, he goes, I can rebuild it again. He goes, that's not a problem. He said, but this van no longer has any type of book value whatsoever. He goes, the most you will ever get out of this van is scrap money. He said, you really need to get yourself a reliable car and not keep rebuilding this van. But by that time, my sister Brenda had already passed away. And that was like our getaway vehicle. We used it every weekend for camping and road trips and our adventures. And the seat that she sat in was fully adjustable by a button. So she could move it up and down and forward and back and adjust herself so she could see. Out of all the vehicles I ever owned, she absolutely loved that Montana because of its versatility and how it affected her being handicapped, how well she could use the car. Before she got sick, she could get in and out of that Montana all on her own. I could put the wheelchair beside her and she could just swing into it all on her own. So, I mean, unbelievable that it fit so well. So when she passed, I had it for a few years out after that, and then it finally went. I parked it in my front yard and just couldn't give it up. Could not give it up. And I still have it, and my sister's been gone now years. And that van, I probably had it 5 years after she passed. So that van's been sitting in my driveway, blown up for 5 years. Or 10 years. Yeah, because she's been gone for 15. So yeah, for 10 years it's been sitting there in my driveway, me unable to give it up. And every time my husband's like, do you think, I just start to bawl. But what I use it for, it's not like it's just sitting there and I don't use it. I have all of my camping gear is stored in that minivan. So I use it as a storage shed. I mean, it's full of everything you could possibly think of for camping. It's packed to the gills. So I'm like, well, if we get rid of the minivan, we have to get a storage shed. So, we'll have to put a storage shed in its place. So we will eventually do that. And I'm not sure when I'll be emotionally ready to give up that van. But right now, it is serving a purpose. So it's not just sitting there doing nothing. It is actually serving a purpose. Alrighty, so there's my random fact. I have a minivan that is blown that I use as a storage shed. Alrighty guys, I want to get off here. I am almost to work and I will talk to you later. Blessings. I stopped at Burger King for lunch and got me a Whopper with shredded cheese instead of sliced cheese, hoping it'd make it more like a salad. I'm going to put mayonnaise on this, and this will be it for me right now.
So for those of you who have ever seen The Sound of Music, you know that song is, of course, Edelweiss.
Rainbow.
Oh, here's the other side of it over the fire truck.
Oh, it is. It's not a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's a fire truck. Yeah, exactly. That's worth a pot of gold when you need it.
Exactly.
And I got a need for going someplace. And I got a need to climb up. Because you held me tight and stole a kiss in the night. The magic night we give, they're in the movement. Oh, but your lips were thrilling, not sure you thrilling. Never before were mine so strange. Willing, but now I see what it brings me to look at me. You got me loving you madly. That little kiss you stole held on my heart and madly. That little kiss you stole.